guys ready?
I printed it for you. It's right there. I have it. But I not have an extra copy.
Yes. Yeah. So order of events is we're going to open it up. We're going to do the canvassing results. I'm going to entertain a motion in a second. Then I'll call on 1, 2, 3, and 4. Open it up, and then we'll take the action, and then we'll do the plaques and the certificates and the swearing in, and then pro tem.
I talked to Dee, and she said that.
Good morning, everyone. If you can go ahead and take your seats in the chambers, we'll begin our council meeting today.
Con tu corazón se fue mi voz y murió mi canto. Y mirando al cielo, oh Dios, cuídala en tus brazos. Con tu corazón se fue mi voz y murió mi canto. Y mirando al cielo, oh Dios, yo le estoy rezando. Con tu corazón se fue mi voz y murió mi canto. Y mirando al cielo, oh Dios, cuídala en tus brazos. Con tu corazón se fue mi voz y murió mi canto. Y mirando al cielo, oh Dios, yo le estoy rezando.
Hola, para las personas que prefieren escuchar esta junta en español, pueden pasar con nuestro equipo de intérpretes al fondo de la sala del concilio de la ciudad para recibir asistencia. Si prefieres ver la transmisión desde tu computador o dispositivo móvil, puedes seguir toda la junta completamente en español en la página web sanantonio.gov/TVSA o también desde su televisor usando el sistema SAP en los canales que ves en pantalla. Por último, no olvides descargar la agenda de esta junta en la página web de español de la ciudad de San Antonio en sanantonio.gov/español.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our City Council special session, where we will be canvassing the June 5th, 2021 election results. The time is 10:25 a.m. on this 15th day of June 2021. We'll go ahead and call our City Council meeting to order. Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Councilmember Trevino. Councilmember Andrew Sullivan.
Here.
Councilmember Villagran.
I'm still here.
Councilmember Rocha Garcia.
Here.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Present.
Councilmember Cabello Harvada.
Here.
Councilmember Sandoval.
Here.
Councilmember Pelaez. Councilmember Courage.
Present.
Councilmember Perry.
I'm here.
And Mayor Nurnberg.
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome for guests and family members and friends to our City Council chambers. Today is a renewal that we've seen over and over again in our city, and we're very much looking forward to welcoming our new members of the City Council up to the dais, but also sending a big send-off and well-deserved appreciation to our outgoing colleagues as well. The first and only item on our agenda today is to canvass the June 5th, 2021 election results. So let me turn it over to our City Clerk, Tina Flores, to get us underway.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. This morning we will canvass the results of the June 5th, 2021 runoff election. The total votes cast, including provisional and overseas ballots, were 39,601. The total registered votes for the City of San Antonio total registered voters for the City of San Antonio as of April 28th is 379,045 voters. Voter turnout was 10.45%. Undervotes represent electronic and paper ballots which were not marked during each runoff district. Overvotes represent one or more marked on the ballot. Regarding Council Place 1, there were 7,543 votes cast. Mario Bravo has been elected City Council member for District 1. Regarding District 2, there were 4,702 votes cast. Jalen McKee Rodriguez has been elected City Council member, District 2. Regarding Place 3, there were 4,561 votes cast. Phyllis Villagran has been elected City Council Member, District 3. And regarding District 5, there were 4,342 votes cast. Terry Castillo has been elected City Council Member, District 5. Regarding City Council District 9, there were 18,390 votes cast. John Courage has been elected City Council Member, District 9. The following persons are elected for a 2-year term of office commencing June 15, 2021. Mario Bravo, District 1, Jalen McKee Rodriguez, District 2, Phyllis Villagran, District 3, Terry Castillo, District 5, and John Courage, District 9. That concludes my presentation, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. We do have some items to certify the election, which includes action by the City Council. Also, we will entertain discussion on the item, so I'll turn it to my colleagues now to entertain a motion for the certification of the 2021 June 5 election.
Mayor, I move to approve.
Okay, there's a motion and a second for approval of item number 1, which is the ordinance certifying the results of the June 5th, 2021 runoff election in Council Districts 1, 2, 3, 5, and 9. We'll move now to discussion. And this is a tradition now, so we are going to hear first from our outgoing colleagues, and I'll call them in order that they appear on the ballot. So with mixed emotions, we're going to hear from our outgoing colleagues who we've enjoyed spending a great deal of time with over the last several years. We'll start with Councilmember Jada Andrews Sullivan in District 2.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you to the City of San Antonio. Thank you to my mommy who is here. Mommy, I love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When there were days that I didn't know if I could do this, you told me that I'm able to do whatever God allows me to do. And knowing that these last 2 years owe me nothing, God has been so just unspeakably good. And to my daughter who's here, my niece, to my great niece who I have the pleasure of doing my last council meeting with, who has been an inspiration of all things, to my staff, Erdis, JC, Bryant, TK, Jeannie, Dr. Murphy, Brian, Mr. Miller, to all of our volunteers, to my family, to my church family, Mr. Cruz, where is Cruz? Cruz, man, thank you. You walked away from Homeland Security to come to help me. And I just want to say thank you because you did not have to do that. And you did it out of the goodness of your heart and represent District 2 to the utmost. So thank you so very much for that. Erdis, you know that you are one of my greatest and best friends from the age of 12. When I gave you the blues, you still stuck by me, even to today when I still give you the blues. And so thank you so much. Livingston, when we had no idea how we were going to actually get through some of the hardest times, doing resolution after resolution after resolution, going to funeral after funeral after funeral, you never wavered. You never said it was too much. You always said, I'm here, Councilwoman, I'll get it done. Thank you so very much. JC, you stepped in and took over what we call community engagement. You became part of the community. You became part of our family. You became part of what District 2 represents, and that is the home, the pride of the Cherokee, Sam Houston High School, all the way through and through. Thank you so very much for what you do. Dr. Murphy, this is just the beginning. Dr. Murphy came in. She's already a writer of many dissertations, and she just really stepped in and became a powerhouse. And I just want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to serve with you. And TK, man, what can I say? From the first day we met, at Texas A&M in San Antonio, you told me you had aspirations to be something that was greater than what your thought process was. This is your time to step into your pride, step into your joy, step into your power, step into your strength, walk into everything that your queenship holds for you. I'm so thankful that we had the opportunity to meet. I'm so thankful that we had the opportunity to work together and to serve together. Thank you for all that you continue to do right here in District 2. I know that there are many more. Mr. Miller, what can I say? I didn't even know what I was doing. The first thing about a campaign, and I didn't know where to go, and Mr. Miller said, I got you. If you trust me, we can work, and we've been working. Even in the midst of a pandemic that no one in this world saw coming, we did some unimaginable things for District 2. So what do we have to hold our heads down about? Each and every last one of you, y'all hold your heads up, put your chest out, and say, we did something in 2 years that a lot of people say it couldn't be done. But it takes you asking. You have not because you ask not. And District 2 asked for it, and we got it. We continue to ask for it, we'll receive it. Jalen, you made history, baby. You made history. History. What I want you to know, I'm so proud of you. You stepped out there and you did something that a lot of people were afraid of, and you took it and you ran with it, and you are the reason why we are still here today. You are our future. You're young, you're vibrant, you have more life ahead of you than you can ever even imagine. Take this step and work it to what you know you can do, which is build it and bring it all the way home. Thank you so much for being a part of the District 2 team, but thank you so much for being a part of the District 2 family. I am honored because what we have today, when you look at District 2, is history. We made history as being the first elected city council. We made history by declaring racism a public health crisis. We made history by banning chokeholds and no-knock warrants. We made history by making sure District 2 has a momentum that is full going. We made history with the first openly gay black man to sit on this council. When you say the city of San Antonio is better for the decisions that we have made, this is what it looks like. To all of my council colleagues, to our mayor, thank you so much for putting up with me when I was asking about everything. Wow. Yes, and to our city manager, when I gave you the blues, you still said, I'm going to elevate, I'm going to promote, I'm going to make sure that the city of San Antonio has representation that looks like the city of San Antonio. And you took it and you made it the beautiful thing that we see today with so many of our people of color being in leadership positions right here in the city of San Antonio, which was something that we constantly asked for, and you always stepped up to the plate. Thank you so much for meeting with District 2. Thank you for bringing the budget to District 2 when people were asking what the heck is the city council budget. Thank you so much for doing that. I look forward to what God is going to do in the city of San Antonio. I look forward to what God is going to do in my life, in the life of my family. We've broken generational strongholds. We've broken generational cycles. We've broken those things that people wanted to speak on our life. And today, we stand in the authority and the power of God, and we're going to dance our way all the way up out of the city of San Antonio, because we don't know what might be happening in Washington, but we shall see. You guys have a blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Andrew Sullivan. Councilmember Villagran.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, here we are at the end of all things for my term as City Council member for District 3, the area that represents the past, the present, and the future of San Antonio. Me, a little girl who grew up on the south side of San Antonio, walking to school every single day, whose grandmother was a migrant farm worker, whose grandfather was strung up on a tree by the Texas Rangers, has been able to serve a full 8 years, one of 11 representing the 7th largest city in the United States of America. When we take this oath to protect, preserve, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, we take on a sacred responsibility for those who choose to trust it and for those who choose to treat it as such. I am so honored and humbled by the residents of District 3 who chose me over and over and over and over again to take on this sacred responsibility. And I know that there were times that we did not see eye to eye on everything, but you all, we all together have grown. In fact, there has been a 51.87% increase in voter participation in District 3 from the first race in 2013 to the last race that I ran in 2019. Your trust to allow me to be a part of this sacred responsibility is humbling. And there is a great sense of accomplishment having led the economic, cultural, housing, job-creating, and educational resurgence of District 3 and the South Side. In the 2017 bond, bringing over $45 million to our area, the growth of Texas A&M San Antonio, a great university, everyone, and of course, Brooks, the first full-service hotel south of downtown, the first medical school ever opened on the south side of San Antonio, our second one in the city of San Antonio, our first regional center plan that we got passed for SA Tomorrow, our first spay and neuter facility in the southern sector of San Antonio. Thank you, Eric, for hearing me on that. And of course, World Heritage and our UNESCO World Heritage designation, the only one still in the state of Texas. Our Mission Marquee Plaza, the revitalization that has gone on there, and the community gathering place that it is. Our World Heritage work plan, our new design standards there, all with community input, because it was the community that allowed us to get this designation with the intangible heritage that we have. Over $9 million in sidewalks invested, many of our streets fixed in District 3. We still have a lot of work to go on there, and a variety of jobs coming into our area. Over 3,000 at least in District 3 over these 8 years. $24.6 million invested in 15 miles of hike and bike trail for the district, and our Viva San Antonio Healthy Corner Store initiative to help with food insecurity in the city of San Antonio and District 3. I have so many people to thank. My colleagues, all 30 of them that I have worked with in my tenure when I first took office, thank you for teaching me so much and sharing their insights. I too am very proud to have been part of the first elected female majority-led council. I will forever cherish my council sisters, our accomplishments, our laughs, our dancing, and our good times. And to the women who are joining this council, and to the women who will remain, I only hope I worked hard enough and fought the battles so you don't have to fight them again. Call out the mansplaining, take credit, take the credit you deserve, remind them of your title. You are a councilwoman or a council member. You earned that. And build one another up, because we have enough people tearing us down. Stop apologizing for asking questions. And to city staff, you are an absolutely incredible team. Your professionalism, you work so hard, and I only wish the entire city of San Antonio could have seen how hard y'all worked during this pandemic. It was unmatched, and I thank the leader of the city staff for that, and getting us through where we are now. I have to thank all the mayors that I've worked with, but right now I'll just thank Mayor Castro and Mayor Taylor. I learned so much from the both of them. And to the 2013 crew, which is Mayor Nuremberg and Councilmember Gonzalez. We have seen so many movies in our time on this dais together. From our first term, not realizing that our mayor was going to resign and all of that craziness that happened that first time. And it has been an honor to be on this journey with you this entire time. I thank you. Thank you, Councilmember Gonzalez, for your advocacy, your steadfastness, for helping all of us call out everything. And when we needed to look at each other, when we knew what was going to happen, you know, we've done a lot of these panel discussions together, and we do think we should take our show on the road, talking about leadership in women and running for council. And Mayor, I thank you for trusting me with the leadership roles that you have put me on. Thank you for I am grateful for the appointments, but more than that, I am grateful for the care and the concern that you have for San Antonio and San Antonians. I wish people would understand and see that, what I get to see in these one-on-one meetings. So thank you for that, and thank you for continuing to build relationship with me. I have to also thank my neighborhood associations and all of my board and commissioners. I was intentional in making sure District 3 members were appointed to these boards. A special shout out to my commissioners on the zoning committee, on the HDRC, on BOA, on HDRC, and Mr. George Garcia on Animal Care Services, and all of my Brooks appointees. You all sacrificed your volunteer time to serve, and it's because of your love for our community and your city. To my senior citizens, I wish I would have had more time with you this last pandemic. We were going to have so many big parties, and I hope I'm invited to the next ones so I can still go and dance with you. To all my District 3 Legacy Leadership Initiative students and participants, thank you for your service. Go and come back and lead wherever you are. To my campaign team who helped me get here, thank you. But I would not be able to stay here but for my incredible team at the city. Ruben Lizalde, Chris Villa, Kelly Rose, Salvador, Anna, Debbie, Christy, Enrique, our Ida, and of course, the incomparable Deborah Hosey, who was so integral for me as I joined here in 2013. Thank you very much for being here today and for being so much fun. We miss you, but we're glad that you're retired. And but I also want to say happy retirement to Anna Galindo. I don't know what it is. Why do all of my secretaries retire after me? So my secretaries retire after they leave me. It's not a trend. I do not see it. To Melissa Cabello Haverda, I am so proud of you. You are a warrior. You are strong, and I'm looking forward to what District 6 is going to do. To Councilmember Sandoval, thank you for teaching me so much about public health and for being my dancing partner when I needed it. Thank you, Councilmember Andrew Sullivan, for your prophetic word that you speak out over the city and the district. We are all safer and better and because of it. Thank you to my South Side sister. I wish we had more time together on this council because it would have been wonderful, but you're going to get somebody else who I think is going to be, you're going to have a whole new slate on this side. So you're going to have a lot of great things to accomplish together. I have to thank I have to also give thanks to Alex Lopez, who is out here, who's helped so much, to Maria Villa-Gomez, who is so smart and so sharp, and all of the team, the city team, who made my time here productive. So I thank them for all of the work and their love for our community. It really is evident. And to my great cloud of witnesses out there cheering me on, especially those I recently lost, my Aunt Carmen, Mr. Quintero, Annette, and our sweet Jennifer Davila, Thank you for being and cheering me on and making sure Phyllis won. And to my family, my cousins who stay by my side and have my back, I love you and thank you for me this whole entire time. To my aunts and my uncles, no one will ever outwork you. Your love for our city is evident, and we will never stop this fight. You know, people who have called, I've had people call me a lot of names and a lot of things as your time is on council, right? But one thing I always took with pride was when people called me a relentless and a fierce advocate, and I will not stop that. And I get that from my family and from being from the South Side. To my council mom, congratulations, you get to keep your title. Thank you for your grace, love, for your forgiveness and your work towards me and your other daughter. To my real Southside sister, my councilwoman, Dad would be so proud. He taught us well. He loved not only the city, but the city organization. So you have a lot of work to do still. And I am so proud to be handing this off to you. I know you will do great things, and you will blow us all away. So now, as is my custom, Mayor, I will leave with a prayer and a blessing from Ephesians 3:6-19. I pray that out of the Lord's glorious riches, he may strengthen you with power through his Spirit to your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power together with all the Lord's holy people to grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ, and to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. God bless you all. Thank you all. And God bless San Antonio.
Thank you, Councilmember Villagran. Councilmember Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor. When I first got on this dais, I told a story about my neighbor who planted an orange tree for all the community to share. And I've always known that District 5 is a community who shares everything they have. So this weekend, we had a party at Elmendorf Lake, and it was fabulous. Eric, the Parks Department, put on an incredible display of all the things they can do. There was kayaking, the swimming pool was open, we have a beautiful splash pad, there was a fishing expo. And so I saw in the corner a tent and all the fishing poles laid out and all the tackle equipment. And there was some kids already getting to the fishing equipment, and mostly hueritos, which we don't see a lot in Elmendorf Lake Park, but I was so glad to see so many kids enjoying the fishing expedition or expo. And so I told all the children that were at the park, go look at the fishing expedition. They're going to give you an expo. And I walked over, and there was a beautiful tent and food displayed, so pretty. They had the most beautiful presentation of sandwiches. And so I went to the table where they were sitting, and there was some women, and I said, wow, this is a beautiful presentation. Can I help you pass out the food? And she says, okay. So I opened the tray, and I passed the food all around, and I was so happy to see everybody enjoying the beautiful fishing demonstration. And so later I see Veronica Moreno, she's with our Parks Department, and I said, oh, Veronica, the fishing expo is so wonderful. The children are enjoying it. And she said, the fishing expo was canceled. And I said, no, they're over there. They have all the tackle equipment and the food. And she said, oh, no, that's not ours. That's not the city. So I walked back over there and I said, who are the sponsors? Are you all part of the event happening today? And she said, no, we just came fishing with our family. But we were just so happy to share. Because that's the kind of community that we are. We will share everything we have, whether you intended to or not. But it's a wonderful example of the District 5 community. We will share everything, even if it's the very little thing that we have. And one thing about my tremendous staff here on the council is that they each were so connected to the District 5 community. So can I just please ask for my District 5 staff to please stand for just a minute? They're all sitting right here. Victor Landa and Juan Valdez and Samantha Hernandez have moved to other city elected offices. And you can sit. So but I do want to tell you a little bit about our team and why we were so awesome. And it was because every single one of them has a connection to District 5. So Dora has spent her life in constituent services. She has worked with elected officials in almost every capacity, and all of it included District 5. Daniel Messa spent his childhood on Cumberland in the Collins Gardens area. Gene Rodriguez spent his life in the South Side in South San, and he single-handedly integrated Collins Gardens Elementary School. He'll tell you the story one of these days. Victor Landa's family had a garage right on the corner of Colorado and Commerce. Rosalinda has lived all over District 5, including Casiano homes. And, of course, Teresa Menendez had her family business, a record shop in Mar Hill on the Edgewood side. And even Joannides, my secretary, lives in District 5. And so it's really because of that we were able to accomplish so much. And while my staff has been incredible and incredibly dedicated to me, the reason why we did so much in District 5 is because they really love this community. They have given their heart and soul and their entire life's work for the people in District 5, and I just got to be the beneficiary of all that work. Danielle and Choco met at Memorial High School in District 5. And it is really because of that that we have been able to accomplish so much. My mentor, Juan Solis, who's a former council member, of course, spent lots of hours mentoring me and working with me through the most complicated issues. And my husband, Kevin Barton, who served as volunteer staff to me, helped me write the equity budget, helped me collect data always. Just such an incredible, dedicated team that and it is an incredible feeling to be supported by such amazing people. And to our incoming council member, Terry Castillo, I hope you feel the love that I did in District 5. I hope you feel supported by all the wonderful people sitting behind you. Many of them were here for me on my very first day. And I do want to take a moment to acknowledge Mr. Vidales, who's sitting in the audience. And Mr. Vidales, will you please stand? Mr. Vidales will be 100 years old. 100 years old. He will be 100 years old in August, and he reads me poetry and takes me for coffee, and has always been an inspiration to me. I hope that I can live to be 100 years old and still love the community as much as he does. As I wind up my time here and my moments on the council, I have spent some time getting to know the city staff. And some words to my incoming colleagues, my incoming council members, all of you coming in, and bravo, and Terry and Jalen and Ms. Villagran. I'll just give you a little bit of words of advice. It took me a very long time to really appreciate the city staff, to appreciate Eric and all of his team. They are incredible people, and we really did see the best of this city during this pandemic, led by our incredible mayor, Ron Nirenberg, by Eric and his team, and this incredible city council that I think we did more for our community than any other big city in the country. We gave more. I do want to give them a round of applause. We did more for housing. We did more for small businesses. We rearranged our budget. Everybody jumped to their feet to really make sure that everybody was taken care of in the city. And it was such an amazing group to be with, to my council colleagues for really stepping in. As a mother of young children, one of whom is here today, my son Zachary is 5. He got to come because he's the only one who can sit quietly. The other children couldn't join us today. But the pandemic was very hard for me, as any mom of young children knows. And it was a time that I had to step back a little. As many of you know, it was being sheltered at home with 3 young children and a mother was a very hard time. And so I really was so grateful for all the council members who could step up and support during that very challenging time. It was such an incredible ride. And while I'm... Last night I had an epiphany, because I've been saying for all this time that I'm not ready, and I want to do over. I want to redo the last year because we didn't get to do the parties and we didn't get to do the celebrations. So I'm telling you all now, have the parties, take the trips, take the time, meet the people, spend time in relationships. Politics is really just about relationships, building them and also growing them. It takes time. There's no shortcut to building relationships. You have to take the time little by little every day to really build them. And I just am so excited to take a step back. It's been, last night I had a wonderful celebration. So many of you all came to celebrate with me. And I thought perhaps better to leave on a high note. And so I will leave ready and so excited to turn over the district to our council member, Terry Castillo, and wish her the very best. Hope that she feels the love and support that I have. Hope that she recognizes that people will share everything they have. And I hope that you benefit from the wonderful love of this community as I have over the last 8 years. Thank you to my mother, who always said you should experience everything in this life. And when my brother passed away in 2009, like many of you all have experienced, I had a search for meaning in my life. And I remember thinking that if it had been me and not him, I wouldn't have done anything meaningful. And now I can say with the great pride that I have led a meaningful life as your District 5 representative. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, and I look forward to working with you all in the future. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Gonzalez. There is a motion and a second for the ordinance. We have discussion now, so we will go in order of our districts. We'll start with Councilmember Rocha Garcia.
Thank you, Mayor. And so I said this before last week, and I'm sad that we're no longer going to be a majority female council, and I'm going to miss you all very much. But I've got to tell you something funny that was said to me and Garrett Bergner did not tell me that this was off the record. So he told me, hey, does this mean, I suppose it's not appropriate to start fist bumping and yelling boys rule? And they said, no, it's not, because you still have 5 of us here. And so anyway, so that wasn't or you didn't tell me off the record, so I'm calling you out there. But just also letting you all know there's still 5 of us, you guys, so we're still going to be all about girl power, don't worry. Thank you. I wanted to just start off by saying, and by the way, we won't make Andy nervous, though, because every time all the women got together, it could have been a quorum, so he freaked out. And so, in fact, there's something buried in a special time capsule that Andy doesn't know about, and he'll find out in 50 years that will make him even more nervous, but that's okay. And so, to my Southside sister, I am so honored to have been able to work with you. I'm sure I'm going to continue to hear about a police station in the south side of town from Phyllis, and so thank you, congratulations, Phyllis. I'm going to always remember that you always tell me to stop apologizing, and so I've been learning. I've tried not to, and so I have to say, my West Side Weta, I'm going to miss you, and so I've learned the meaning of mansplaining from you. And so, believe it or not, I didn't know what mansplaining was. And so, one of my colleagues who shall remain unnamed today was mansplaining. And Shirley's like, and that's mansplaining. And I was like, oh, I get it, right? And so, I've learned so much from you all. So, not just mansplaining, not just to stop apologizing, but also the commitment that you have to your community. And by the way, Councilwoman, you do such a great job. You did a great job throughout the pandemic with the kids. You make me want to have another baby if it makes you feel better. So whatever you're doing, you did it right. So good job. So you're good. And I want to say that Scott Ball, and Scott Ball is in here, took this fabulous picture last week, and it was hilarious because Councilwoman Gonzalez is being her passionate self, and I can't remember what she was asking about, but Andy was bringing us back down to where we're supposed to be. And so Councilwoman Gonzalez is shooting off the just craziest eye over to Andy. But the bad thing is that I'm ready to back her up in case she throws down. And so I'm still here to support you in whatever it is that you need. But my council colleague, Jada, I've got to tell you that you're just such a calming presence on campus, on council, and every time I felt down or overwhelmed, which I try not to let people onto, you were there and you kind of sensed it. And so your prayers were always welcome. I am honored to have been able to work with you for 2 years, and I want to thank you for showing up until the very end. Your community deserves it. Your supporters, your network, I'm proud of you. So thank you. And thank you to your team. Your team is here also working. They were working nonstop, you all. They were just giving her information, making sure she was supported, and making those very last council decisions. So thank you, every single one of you on her team, for everything that you all did. It means a lot to me that you all worked very, very hard until the very end. So thank you again, all of you, for showing up. And then to my new council colleagues, Mario Bravo, I'm so excited for you. You're my ABLDP alum, buddy, so thank you. I'm so happy for you. Looking forward to it. Burgundy, you did a great job in supporting, so looking forward to working with you as well. And I'm happy that Council Mom continues her term, so I'll get to work with Council Mom again. So Phyllis, you are my new Southside sister, but it's okay. We won't leave our Southside sister out. Well, maybe you could bring her as a +1 or something, and she doesn't feel left out. So, and then Terry, I'm so looking forward to work with you. I'm very excited. She has another chief of staff. Yes, she has a female chief of staff, and so I'm really jazzed about that. So congratulations, you've already made great moves. Jalen, you know that I will be supportive of you. You saw yesterday I already started. I'm going to make sure that your voice is counted and that your presence is known. So congratulations. And other than that, I'm just going to miss you all. And I'm like the veteran on the third floor now, which is weird because I was a rookie last year. And so I'm so going to miss you all. Thank you so much for everything that you all did for our entire community. We worked together during the pandemic, and I could not have picked a better team to work alongside. So thank you for taking my crazy calls late, or thank you for my text messages when I asked, hey, can you wear teal for this? Hey, can you wear, orange for that, or whatever it is. And thank you for always being there for me. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Rocha Garcia. Councilmember Cabello-Haverda.
Thank you, Mayor. Every day of my very blessed life, with humility, I try to learn. No matter how much education or experience a person has, you can always learn every single day. And I have learned so much in the last 2 years from my colleagues, from my community, from my district, my beautiful city, my beautiful hometown, and each one of you. I learned from Councilwoman Andrew Sullivan to rely on my faith more, to really have that unwavering faith. And, Councilwoman Andrew Sullivan and Rocha Garcia and I came on together, and we didn't have any idea what kind of a freshman term we were going to have. It's been a tumultuous couple of years, but in all of that, Councilwoman Andrew Sullivan was steadfast and true to her community, and always relied on her faith. So I really learned that from you. I appreciate that, and thank you, Councilwoman. Thank you for teaching me. From Councilwoman Viagran, I learned to never, ever back down. Relentless is, please. Relentless is one word. Fearless is what I would use. So I'm grateful for that. I'm not going to look at her anymore because I'm going to start crying. But you put the South Side on the map. And from you, I learned that advocacy, that fearless, fierce advocacy. And you also taught me that it's always the right time to fight, to advocate, and to take that first step for your community. Just because it's never been done before doesn't mean you shouldn't take that first step. And so I learned that, and I thank you for teaching me. For Councilwoman Gonzalez, I learned it's totally okay to be your assertive, fierce, passionate, bright color-wearing Latina self. And when I decided to run for council, people told me, you can't do it. You have kids, you own your own business, there's no way. And I would point over here at my neighbor and say, hey, she did it. She had 3 little ones. She had them in office. She's running a business. And so you gave me that confidence. And I don't even know that you knew that, but when I was, rough days, as we all know, on a campaign, my head was kind of down to people telling me I couldn't do it because of my life. You brought my head back up and reminded me that I could. So I appreciate that. I will always thank you for inspiring me in that way, and I thank you for teaching me. To my incoming council colleagues, Mario, Phyllis, Terry, and Jalen, I can't say enough how eager I am to learn from each one of you. I'm very grateful to know most of you already, but every day I commit to learning from you and listening to you and hearing you and your representation of your district. So welcome, and I look forward to learning from you. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Cabello-Haverda. Councilmember Sandoval.
Thank you, Mayor. And I do have a few words to share with our outgoing council members. And I have to admit, I was caught a little bit off guard. I thought this was going to be your moment to talk. We would listen, clap, but here we go. I'll try my best to summarize the few years of working with you and what I've appreciated the most. I'll start off with Councilwoman Andrew Sullivan. Thank you. I've always told you that you're a natural motivational speaker. I think that's probably your calling in life. You may have many. But today what you showed us, again, is that you are the epitome of graciousness. thank you so much for sharing that, modeling that for us, and that is something that I'm learning from you. I want to thank you for pushing this council on a number of important issues, including gun safety, including police reform, and that resolution that took us a while to get through, but racism is a public health crisis. We would not have passed that without you. And I will commit to you that I will continue pushing that issue along to try to create some justice for those many who deserve it. Thank you very much for your work. Sure, thank you. To the senior councilwomen, I want to tell you that when I came on council, you too knew exactly what you were doing. At least that's what I thought. And you may have heard me say this before, but you are unlike any other women I've ever known. There is a power that follows you wherever you go. It's an aura around you. There's a strength and there's a no nonsense, and I am the relentless, fierce advocate, I'm not taking any BS from anybody attitude that you have. And I was disciplined to be a good little girl, and that was shocking to me, and I learned from it. So thank you. You are absolute role models for me in that sense. Councilwoman Gonzalez, you know that there was a time when I followed you around like a puppy dog, trying to learn everything I absolutely could from you. I had what I call a professional crush on Councilwoman Gonzalez because of her advocacy on transportation, and she didn't care what anybody thought about it. And then COVID came, but I will certainly miss that about you. I have always been impressed by your ability to balance so many things in your life, your business, your family, and of course your council work. So thank you for being that role model, for teaching me, and for letting me work with you these past few years. Councilwoman Villagran, again, you put the South Side on the map, like the councilwoman said, and I want to say thank you for working with me. We hadn't had an opportunity to really build that relationship until the pandemic began, and we realized we were so much on the same page when it came to the health of our community. And I want to thank you for being so receptive, so collaborative, and it is because of you, me, and our councilwomen that we have defied what was expected in terms of who was vaccinated in this community. Had it not been for us, we would have seen the same business as usual. North Side residents, no offense, I also represent the North Side, only North Side residents being vaccinated, but because of our work together, we can say that the South Side was vaccinated too, so thank you. There is a council member who's not with us today, and I would also like to recognize the work that he has contributed to our community. We certainly would have liked to see him here, but it cannot go without saying that without him, many things in this community might not have happened, especially during COVID. So if you'll indulge me in recognizing some of the accomplishments of Councilman Trevino. At the beginning of the pandemic, we were up here on the dais, and a question was asked if CPS would continue to do shutoffs during the pandemic. And that same day, CPS, and that was Councilman who asked that question, and that same day, CPS announced it would issue a moratorium on cutoffs, and they were followed by saws. So I want to thank the Councilman for bringing that issue up. He also championed the largest emergency housing assistance program in the nation, and thanks to the council for approving that, of course, and for the staff for doing such an incredible job in implementing that. But he was he was no doubt the biggest champion for that cause. And he brought to us a program which we thought was innovative, but apparently was already in use in other parts of the country, the right to counsel, to make sure that our renters had due process before they left office. And he fought to ensure that renters had a voice in our community as well. There are many other things that happened before I joined council. Those are the most recent ones that I remember, but I just wanted to say gracias, Councilman, for always bringing compassion to the work that you did here. And to the incoming council members, Mario, Terry, Phyllis, Jalen, congratulations. Welcome. I look forward to working with all of you. Each of you brings something so special that this council will benefit from. I can already think of a number of things I am going to go lobby you for and that I want to work with you on. If I haven't started already, you will be hearing from me soon. But I think we should work more in teams as council members, and I think each of you have the ability and willingness to do that. So I look forward to working with all of you. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Sandoval. Councilmember Pelaez.
Thank you. To the councilmen who are stepping off, thank you so much. Yes, I found a tie in my closet somewhere, but I want to. I want to thank you all for making me a better councilman, and so you'll forgive me, but I'm going to do some manny-splaining. They really do. Rebecca and Shirley and Jada, you have some of the sharpest elbows I've ever experienced, and you get things done. And you get things done unapologetically, and you get things done with a sense of urgency, and nobody can deny the fingerprints that you've left on the city. I'm sad to say that my friend and my brother and my colleague Robert Trevino is not here today, but if he's watching, I don't think anybody in San Antonio is going to also deny that his fingerprints are permanent. He has helped families who are homeless. Our San Antonio constituents without homes, thousands of them, have Roberto Trevino to thank for not falling further into the cracks and, or at the very least, pulling themselves out of it. We've got this White Roof program, which I think is something that we're all proud of and will all continue. I will tell you that hundreds and hundreds of artists in San Antonio have Roberto Trevino to thank during our COVID crisis because Roberto was insisting that we fund them. Additionally, just to name a few more, immigrants' rights, renters' rights, and the rights and the opportunities for single moms and battered women is something that he is he'll leave a forever mark on there. Lastly, I'll tell you, our very own employees, my staff, his staff, and every staffer who works for all of us city council members, and the staffers who are going to be working for the 3 council members, have him and his team to thank for benefits and for good pay and for and for being able to be recognized the way that they've deserved. And lastly, my comments are to the 3 council members. I only have just one thing to beg of you, and that is please meet with everybody and please listen to everybody with very open minds. You represent everybody. I'm still learning that the number of people who I represent up here is much larger than I think, and so I want to point out that in this room, Judge Rosie Gonzalez from across the street is here, a domestic violence champion, and visit with her. Learn about what she's working on. Learn about what she sees, every single day. We've got the San Antonio Police Officers Union and the Firefighters Union. They represent your constituents too. The men and women in uniform live in your neighborhoods, and they have opinions that are valuable, and their positions are worthy of merit, and they merit your listening to them. We've got Michelle Tremillo here. Every single one of us should be talking to her as often as possible and learning from her. Michelle, sometimes you drive me nuts, and I drive you nuts, but I learn from you. And I'm glad that we get to exchange ideas. our friends from AFSCME who represent the city employees. You know, there's 12,000 plus of your constituents who work for your constituents every single day, who come to work at the city of San Antonio. And that I can't forget also that Eric Walsh and his entire team of people, those 12,000 team members, they're San Antonians. They're stuck on 281 and I-10 just like you are and the rest of your neighbors, and they're relying on you to take care of their families also. Remember that these folks stepped up during the storm, and they want safe neighborhoods also, and they want clean water, and they want, you know, roads without potholes, and so please listen to them. And then, you know, don't be afraid to talk to our friends at the media. You know, sometimes they drive us all nuts, but they also have an important perspective, and, you know, please be open to their ideas. Richard Perez is sitting here. Former city council member. That guy knows more about being a city council member than anybody I know in San Antonio, but also he represents an important constituency that I hope that my three members will listen to. Lastly, the trade unions are here. Communication Workers of America, I'm happy to see you guys here. These folks rely on us to make sure to remember that, you know, work in San Antonio needs to be dignified and safe. And I keep saying lastly, you know, we've got people who represent the real estate community here in town. People don't live in buildings unless somebody builds them, and these are the folks that build them. And so, you know, please talk to them, learn from them. Everybody has something to teach us, and including me. And I'm looking forward to serving with you and learning along with you to better serve our constituents. And this is life and death that we're doing up here. And I've read a lot about what you guys are about. I've gotten to talk to some of you. Mario, I've known you for a long time. I can't think of a better prepared group of people to represent their communities, and I'm so happy that you're up here, and I look forward to kicking ass with you. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilmember Pelaez. Councilmember Courage.
Thank you, Mayor. It is an honor and a pleasure to serve on this city council, to serve with the people I've served with for the past 2 years and for the 4 years I've been on. And I think all of us feel the same way. You know, I really appreciate the council members who are leaving and the contributions they've made, not only to the city, but to me personally. I have to start off by looking back at Shirley Gonzalez. When I first got on council, she said, "Councilman, I want to have coffee with you someday." We went and met on a coffee shop on the west side, and she talked to me about her plans for streets for the city of San Antonio. And she easily educated me and convinced me of the importance of looking at streets and improvements through what we didn't call it then, but through what we call it today, an equity lens. And I appreciate that. And that was the first bit of education I think I received on this council. But I received more. I received a lot of education from Councilwoman Villagran because of her grit and her determination and her commitment to the South Side. And I'll tell you what, and some of the people in this room know that if they dealt with me my first couple of years, because when some developers came to me a few times and said, "Well, we'd like to put some apartments up in your district, or we'd like to do some building in your district," I said to them, "Well, what are you doing on the South Side? What are you doing on the Southeast and the Southwest and the East Side? You know, they need more building and more construction there." But I've watched the work that's been done on the South Side, and I've been amazed at the work and the leadership that Rebecca has shown, and you know, that benefits all of us in this community. So, you know, you two have done an outstanding job. And I'll tell you what, there's no doubt in my mind that had Jada remained on this council, she would have continued to contribute in outstanding ways as well. And I know your time of contributing to this community or to whatever community you're involved with is going to continue. I've learned from you. I appreciate your partnership on things that we've talked about and moved forward with. And so for the three women who are leaving, it creates a hole, no doubt about it. But I look at the new members coming in, and I realize there are going to be people who are going to fill those holes, and they're going to fill them very well. I want to say about our other council member who isn't here today, I used to watch the work that Roberto did, and District 1 is a very unique district because it's the center of the city, and there's so much business and commerce, but there are so many residential communities all around it. It goes all the way up to the edge of my district and over to the edge of the east side and the south side. I used to call him the mayor of District 1 because he was always going places and doing things. So Roberto, you've got Mario, you've got a lot to look forward to as you take on that responsibility. But he did make so many important contributions to this city. So all of you have been such a unique part of my service and the service to the city. I'm just proud to have served with you, and I know that you're going to continue to make great, important input and services to our community. So I just thank you for sharing part of yourself with me in this council. And to the new council members, you'll find out as you go along that there's a lot to learn. I heard that phrase, and you'll hear it too. You're going to be drinking from a fire hose for the first 6 months or a year that you're on council trying to learn everything. And there is a lot to learn, and there's a lot to understand. And you will come to understand a lot of things that your community doesn't. And it's going to be incumbent upon you to try and help inform and educate your community so that when you make those really tough decisions and there are people in your community who don't agree, you can help them understand, or at least when you make that decision, they'll know you've given it the thought and the consideration it deserves, even if they may not agree with you. So it's a big job, and it's important to continue to listen to your community. And like I always say, you need to be the neighbor for everybody in your community, the kind of person who listens, who shares thoughts, who shares ideas. But also you need to remember that a councilman for one district is a councilman for the whole city, because the decisions we make up here in this dais every day, one way or another, affect the lives of everybody in this community. And so we need to work together when it comes to making those decisions. And we may not all be 11-0 votes. We may be 10-1 sometimes. We may be 6-5 sometimes. But I think all of us going to act in the best interest of how we see our community, and I know you will too. And I just want to offer my help in any way I can, and I'm sure you'll get that from everyone who's remaining on the council. Good luck to you, and best of wishes to our council members leaving. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Courage. Councilmember Perry.
Thank you, sir. Well, I got to tell you a little secret. John and I did this Vulcan mind meld before coming out here, because he said basically what I was going to say. But I'll point out a few little things here also. Jada, ever since that first breakfast we had together, where you've been and where you've gotten to today is amazing, and you have done an awesome job. And I got to remind everybody that 10 and 2 have a very long boundary there, and we had that opportunity, and we did do some work together on promoting that and working back and forth across those district lines. So I thought that was great. I wish you luck. You're one of our best orators up here on getting the word out on what you feel and what you think is right. I think that's awesome as well, and you'll go far with that. You'll go very far with that. Councilwoman Villagran. There you go. There you go. If y'all ever noticed on council meetings, man, she would give me that eye, and I would say, uh-oh, what am I doing wrong here? What am I doing wrong? But looking back at it, in 2017, and I've always remembered that, you were the only council member that came to my election party that night, and I've always remembered that. And I respect you for that. I respect everything that we disagreed on. And, okay, John said it. There's a lot of 10-1 votes up here, okay?
Sometimes 10-2.
Okay, sometimes 10-2. I'm able to get somebody to come along with me. But, you know, it's all about business, and you have to separate that here on this council. And for the new folks coming in, it's about business. It's not about personal issues or personalities, anything like that. You got to look at your district, and you, as John said, you got to look at the whole city. So I've learned a lot from you about that, and I'm going to continue to try to do that, and looking and working with everybody here on the council. I think everybody does a good job of that. Okay, maybe once in a while not, but it's okay. It's okay. But I really appreciate you and what you've done here for the city for 8 years. That's truly an accomplishment. And best of luck to you down. Okay, great. Going into Aggie land. Yes, down at Texas A&M. I love that. But yes, absolutely. And then Shirley, I got to tell you a story. Shirley invited me over to her house, Kevin, for coffee and sitting down talking to know each other. So I got up there and got out of the car, and she had 4 place settings, and she said, "Oh, I thought you were going to bring your wife." And I said, "Shirley, I'm single." And she said, "Oh, wow, awesome. All right, yeah." So, you know, it was a complete surprise to her and to me also. But that was great. And then your personal tour of District 5 that you gave to me and showing me where the issues are in your district that you're working for and working to improve. And so I really appreciated that also, Shirley. And, you know, I'm going to miss all of you. And you've all made such huge contributions to this city, and you will continue to. I know y'all will stay engaged and be, I know y'all will probably even give me a call once in a while. "Hey, Perry, come on, get with it." But no, I appreciate that. I really do. And some comments have been made about Councilman Trevino as well. You know, if there's 2 on the council that probably had the most opposing views on policy, it was probably Roberto and myself. But if you listen very carefully, there were a number of issues that we really agreed on and fought hard for. So, and that's what this council position is all about. It's not about, you know, personalities. It's not about personal issues. I've already said that. It's about what's right for your district and what's right for the city of San Antonio. And Mario, Phyllis, got it right that time, Terry and Jalen, I really look forward to working with y'all and continuing to further your districts along with mine and the entire city here. So with that, I would say my only advice to you is listen to all the input that you get on any particular item or policy. But at the end of the day, we've got these machines up here, this little TV screen. When you push that button, yes or no or abstain, you're telling the world how you stand on a particular issue. So my advice is listen and make the best informed decision that you can. You're your own council person. You control that vote. Each one of us up here only has 1 vote. And that's very important to remember. State your cause. Vote the way you think you should vote for not only you, but your district and the city as well. Because, like I said, when you push that button, it's all done. And you walk away, leave that behind, and look for that next issue that you need to be working on. Okay? So with that, that's all my comments. Thank y'all very much. It's been, like John said, it's been an honor and privilege to serve with y'all. I'm going to miss y'all. I really will. And, you know, that's why I was doing this little crying thing at the beginning. I'm really going to miss that, working with y'all and the personal relationships that we've made and friendships we've made. So thank y'all very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Councilmember Perry. I have a few things I want to say, but I won't take very long. First, it is, regardless of how long or short your tenure is up here on the dais. It is an honor and a privilege to serve in this city, no matter what district you serve in. But it's also a great sacrifice on those who walk that path along with you, family, friends, spouses, children. And so to the family members of the council members who are departing, I want to say thank you on behalf of the city of San Antonio for giving your loved ones to our community all those years. I've watched this group grow together during a very extraordinary time for any city in the country. And I have to agree with Councilmember Gonzalez. When you look out over the United States during this very devastating 16, 18-month period, San Antonio shines in a number of ways, through collaboration, through compassion, through putting our resources where our mouths are and where our values are stated. John's staying with us, thank goodness, but he's always reminded every one of us that you're not just a council member for your district, you're a council member for the entire city. And this group has demonstrated that. I am grateful for that collaboration. Councilwoman Gonzalez, I've gone to a few parties of yours now to be elected 4 times in District 5, where there are enormous generational challenges, shows the amount of support and vision that you've brought to this community. And I would say that over the course of the last 8 years, the direction of District 5 has changed dramatically for the better. Councilwoman Villagran, we've noted many times your fierceness. I think you and Shirley both demonstrate that better than I could ever imagine, the fierceness of the causes that you take up. But it is true that the momentum that's happening on the south side of San Antonio has changed the gravitational pull of our community forever in very positive ways. And I know you have a very bright future ahead of you, and thank you for the collaboration. All of our colleagues, we never see eye to eye on every single issue, but I want to say for the past 8 years, I have very much come to respect and admire the way you go about building relationships with your team, including me, and I'm grateful for the work that we've done together. Councilwoman Sullivan, you have demonstrated grace under fire. You've demonstrated what it takes to give to your community. And I want to reiterate what I think Councilwoman Villagran said, that you showed up every time. You showed up all the way to the end, fighting for your community, and that's a great example in a public servant, and I'm grateful that you provided that up here. Councilman Trevino demonstrated a level of passion and forethought for this city that I am grateful for, never yielding from a difficult fight and being willing to take up the difficult causes is something I admire and respect about him. All 4 of our colleagues I'm going to miss greatly. And as I said before, however long or short you get to spend with people up on this dais, we are in some very difficult challenges together, but collaborating and having one vision, and that is to make sure that every member of our community has a chance to thrive, is something that brings people close together. So again, thank you for the time you've spent. Thank you for the passion and drive that you brought to your work. I am grateful to know you, and I'm even more appreciative to be able to work with you for this city. To our incoming colleagues, very much looking for you to forward to you taking your seats. I've known a couple of you for a while. A couple of you I'm getting to know. Mario, Jalen, Phyllis, Terry. The greatest compliment a public servant can be given on the eve of them taking office is to know with confidence that you're going to do the work, that you're going to put in the time and the effort on behalf of the community. And I've watched you over the last several months or years, depending on how long it is, and I have no doubt in my mind that you're going to put in the work and make your communities proud. And we're going to look forward to working with you along the way. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. This is a renewal It's also a chance to say a goodbye of sorts, but again, we're grateful for you being here. Councilmember Villagran.
Of course, I have a question, Mayor. Is Eric going to say anything? And then number two, y'all, please don't forget our public safety substation in the East-West Corridor. Thank you.
Well, if you ask him a question, he'll be compelled to answer.
Eric, would you like to say something?
I will now, Councilwoman.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager.
Yeah, thank you. Just briefly, and I shared this with some of you last week. When in good times and in challenging times, I think it's, at least my view of the things that we all do down here is a team sport. This is not an individual sport, and I think many of you talked about the relationships, the hard work, the dedication, the asking the questions that happens. And so on behalf of the entire city team, I want to thank the outgoing council members for your support, but more importantly, your leadership. Because in good times, it's important. It's even more important in challenging times. And the last 15 or 16 months have certainly been challenging. We got through this because of the leadership and support of this city council. And so we will miss all of you dearly. Many of you, all four of you, led key efforts. There's certainly, as we all go through those times, will be times and relationships that will matter and made a difference in the community. So don't forget, Councilwoman, I'm sure on the list of bond projects there will be the Southside Substation. But really, I just want to thank you for your leadership and support on behalf of the entire city team, not just from me, from all 12,000, from all the executives, from the executive leadership team. And to the incoming council members, congratulations and welcome. Our job is to make sure that we are working to support you and all the hard work that your future colleagues talked about. No doubt that work will begin as soon as you're sworn in this week, and looking forward to working with all of you, again, on behalf, not just for myself, but on behalf of the entire city organization. Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Villagran, you have the floor.
Well, no, I'm kidding. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City Manager.
All right. As our most senior and outgoing colleague, that's appropriate that she has the final word, but I'm going to call the question now. We have a motion and a second for approval of item 1, which is the ordinance canvassing the results of June 5th, 2021 runoff election. If there are no further discussion, please vote. Motion carries. All right, congratulations. All right, at this time, we're not quite done. We're going to present plaques for the outgoing council members, certificates of election for the incoming council members, and we'll have our swearing in, which will allow them to effectively take their seats. So just one moment, if everybody can just hang tight.
Councilmember Andrew Sullivan.
Councilmember Viagran. Councilmember Gonzalez. Mario Bravo. Jalen McKee Rodriguez. Phyllis Viagran. Terry Castillo. John Courage.
All right. Now our city clerk is going to take point at the podium. If we can have our incoming council members, including Councilmember Courage, step up for the swearing in.
Can you approach the microphone, please? Hi. I'm going to ask you all to raise your right hand. We'll do the statement of appointed official first, okay? I state your name. Do solemnly swear. Or affirm. That I have not directly. or indirectly, paid, offered, or promised to pay, contributed or promised to contribute, any money or thing of value, or promised any public office, or employment, for the giving or withholding of a vote at the election at which I was elected, or as a reward to secure my appointment or confirmation, whichever the case may be. So help me God. Very good. Thank you. Stay. Stay here.
All right.
Yeah.
Y'all have one more.
Now we'll administer the oath of office. If you can please take your place and raise your right hand. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. Or affirm. That I will faithfully execute the duties. Of the office of. City of San Antonio. Council member, place.
District 3.
Of the state of Texas. And will to the best of my ability. Preserve, protect, and defend. The Constitution. And the laws. Of the United States. And of this state. So help me God. Congratulations. Can you... Will the newly elected council members please take your seat on the dais? We do have a couple more items on the agenda.
Okay, as our new council members take their seats, we do have a couple of items that we need to go through. But before we get to those, I'll offer the floor to my new colleagues if anyone would like to make comments. We'll start with Councilmember Bravo, District 1.
Thank you. Somebody come teach me how it works. Is this thing on? Well, I didn't prepare a speech because we've been so busy working trying to get everything ready to be able to serve, and that's why I'm here. I want to thank my family for raising me and giving me the background necessary, the foundation to be able to be here today. I want to thank all of my neighbors in District 1 for believing in me and our vision to be able to treat the public as a partner and to listen and to work together. We worked hard to get here, and we're going to keep working hard. And I really look forward to working with all my colleagues up here collaboratively to do the best we can for District 1 and for our city. Where's Stacy Jones? Stacy, standing up in the back over there. Stacy, thank you for volunteering to be my campaign manager early on. You know, District 1 is unique in that we have downtown, and, we talked to people in the downtown community, and they told us what they wanted. They want a more vibrant downtown. They want a more livable downtown, a more walkable downtown. And I said, well, what's the catch? And, Stacy and I talked to them, and, we just swore an oath, right, where we were told, I did not promise any seat. But Stacy earned the seat, and we're going to be the very first District 1 council office to have a staff member who's dedicated to working with the downtown community and building a more vibrant downtown, and that's going to be Stacy Jones. So I'm glad to have her on my staff, as well as Mario Llano, who's going to be joining us as well as our chief of staff. Thank you, Burgundy, for being so supportive throughout all of this process. A lot of people don't know this about me, but my little brother back there, when he graduated from high school, we took a semester off. I took a semester off from college, and we went up to Alaska, and we worked on a fishing boat. And this was, off of Dutch Harbor in the Bering Sea, and we worked 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that job was easy compared to working for my dad, because we had grown up working so hard. And so we're going to work hard for you. I'm glad that my neighbors in District 1 worked so hard for us to get here, and I look forward to working hard with you all as we go forward. And, I've been asking people not to call me council member. I'm not into titles. I'm Mario. I'm your neighbor. I'm your friend. I'm your partner. And I'm here to serve with you, alongside you. And staff have been resistant to that. And so I don't know, Eric, if I'm going to have to pass an ordinance or a resolution or something.
Sure, Councilman.
Thank you. So, take 6 votes. Okay. Well, I'm going to work collaboratively with you all to get to 6 votes. But my friend Michael Amici's here today. I remember he did a summer abroad in Europe, and or I guess a semester or a year, and I went and met up with him. Before we met up, I flew into England, and I don't know where I was, to be honest, because this was 22 years ago. And but I remember seeing an inscription on a wall there somewhere. And I'm not going to paraphrase it correctly, but essentially it said, "Whomsoever among us shall be our leader, let them be our servant." And that stuck with me. And that's going to be my approach going forward, working with you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilmember Bravo. Councilmember McKee Rodriguez.
Thank you. Thank you. I wanted my first words to be thank you. I didn't get here by myself. I had an amazing, amazing team who gave hours of their personal time, who took off work in some instances, people who believed in what this campaign stood for, and what this campaign was about was working class, regular people, and the things that matter most to us. I could never thank my team enough. I could never. But I'm going to continue for my entire term to work hard and prove to you why you believed in me, and I will earn that. I want to thank all the organizations that supported me, gave endorsements. Texas Organizing Project is one that stands out, as well as several unions, San Antonio Democratic Socialists of America. These are organizations that put boots on the ground, put mailers, got to be on my first mailer with the mayor. Thank you, AFSCME. And I have to thank my family. My husband couldn't be here. He'll be here later. But no one signs up to be a political spouse. And I owe so much to him for putting himself out there and for hitting doors and talking to people. He's an introvert like me, so he didn't want to do it either. But thank you to him, and thank you to my family. Y'all will get to meet them later as well. Thank you to all of my friends. and thank you to the outgoing Councilwoman. I remember January 29th, 2019 was the first day that January 21st, 2019 was the first day that we had met. And I saw a woman who had overcome so much, who came from the East Side, who represented East Side values, who was a survivor of domestic violence, who was a veteran, who was a single mother, and was doing amazing things and wanted better for her community. And all of those things that I saw in you then, I do see in you now, and I hope the best for your future, and thank you. I also have to thank District 2, because District 2 is the one that put me here. District 2 is a district of working class, regular ass people. And my first time cussing on the dais, too. And I've been getting a lot of media requests and whatnot because, Jalen made history, and it wasn't me who made history. It was the district. The district elected the first openly gay black man to city council. I misspoke. First openly gay man to city council, and the first openly gay black man in all of the state of Texas to hold an elected office. But I'm not the first openly LGBTQ member of the council. Before me, there was Elena Guajardo, who was councilwoman. She was councilwoman of District 7, and just the other day, she sent me a letter. And in it, she outlined her experiences, her hopes, what she hoped for me, advice, and I hope that for the future, for any people who share identities, any people who don't feel represented, I hope that in the future, this opens a door for you. Because there are so many who came before me who opened this door. So thank you. I'm going to bring my experience as the son of 2 veterans, the oldest of 7, a grad student. I'll be finishing my grad work while on the dais, and I'll bring my experience of being a teacher. And this term, these next 2 years, are going to be for my kids, for my students who have shared stories with me that have made me cry, stories and experiences that have made me laugh, and those stories that I can look on fondly with a smile. My term is going to be about the kids who have struggled with this past year, who are now a generation of students and kids more depressed and more mentally, struggling mentally with their mental health than ever before, as well as those who have lost a lot this year. My term is going to be about the parents who send their kids walking to school and place their trust in the system to keep them safe and to provide options and opportunities for them. My term is going to be about the future that I've seen in my students' eyes and the optimism and hope that they deserve to have and they deserve to maintain. That's what my next 2 years will be about. As a teacher, I've gotten the opportunity to prepare my students for the world that exists. And now as councilman, I'll be working every single day to build a city that they deserve. And thank y'all for putting me here.
Thank you, Councilmember McKee Rodriguez. Councilmember Villagran.
Thank you. Councilmember Phyllis Villagran, everyone. Just to clarify that, I just need to thank the voters of District 3. They are the heart, they are the best asset and resource of the district, the residents, the community, and they came out in force this election. They got our mayor reelected, no problem, and then they got it done for me in the runoff, and I am so thankful for them. This was a mandate from them, letting the city of San Antonio know that District 3 is on the move, that we are the past, the present, and future, and that we are ready to lead this city out of this pandemic. I need to thank the campaign team, Laura Barbarena, Kay, Chase, Ben, Henry, the team that got me here. This was a ground game, guys, and to all my council colleagues and all those out there, groundwork wins elections. So thank you so much to them. To my family and friends, and I should have stole Rebecca's speech, but they are they were relentless, they were passionate. Nobody worked harder than them, both on the Viagran side and the Angelini side, and here we are today, and I want to just thank them so much. To my council colleagues, I am ready to work and meet with everyone. I am so excited. I have been watching you, some of you for longer than 8 years because I was a city employee, and I'm ready to get started and to work, especially on this digital divide and getting broadband infrastructure and digital literacy and digital access to the South Side, and I know together we can get it done. History is being made today. I'm sitting next here to Jalen, and we've had husbands and wives be on this council. We've had fathers and sons, but not two sisters, and I don't think back to back. So I'm excited that we're doing this here today. It's just an amazing opportunity, but I could not have gotten here with some key people, and that is John. Thank you for all that you did, driving me around during during the campaign. To my mother, council mom, who is so excited about seeing this happen. To my sister, who was a role model and a mentor, who's always here in spirit. To my father, Willie Viagran, who served this city for over 40 years, who ignited this passion for us to serve and understood how important this institution is. I want to thank him too. Thank you so much. I hope to see y'all this evening at 6 p.m. And thank you all for everything you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Viagran. Councilmember Castillo.
I'm extremely humbled that the working people of District 5 have selected me to work for them as their representative. This District 5 seat belongs to us, the people of District 5, to the people that I went to their doors and were disheartened and have lost trust in the political process. This seat belongs to the folks that said, no, thank you. And I'm honored to ensure that we prioritize community in the public participation process, and I'm extremely humbled and grateful for my family who took days off, weeks off to support us at the polls, to knock on doors, and to our great campaign team who had a phenomenal ground game. And ultimately, I want to thank Councilman Robert Trevino for being a great example of what leadership is, and I always look to him for leadership, and as many people did in District 5. In addition to that, I want to thank community, the organizations that supported our campaign from the get-go. State Representative Diego Bernal, the San Antonio DSA, Texas Organizing Project, and several labor unions. Again, I'm excited to get to work, and thank you to all my council colleagues who reached out right away, offering support and ready to get to work. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Councilmember Castillo. All right. The next item that we have to take care of today is the new roll call of the City Council members.
Councilmember Mario Bravo. Here. Councilmember Jalen McKee Rodriguez.
Present.
Councilmember Phyllis Viagran.
Here.
Councilmember Adriana Rocha Garcia. Here. Councilmember Terry Castillo.
Here.
Councilmember Melissa Cabello Harvada. Here. Councilmember Anna Sandoval.
Here.
Councilmember Manny Pelaez. Councilmember John Courage.
Here.
Councilmember Clayton Perry.
Here.
And Mayor Ron Nirenberg.
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Okay. The only item for our new City Council member this morning is to swear in our Mayor Pro Tem for the first term, and that will be Councilmember Melissa Cabello Harvada. So if you could approach the podium. And Madam Clerk, could you read the term period? Yeah.
Can you please raise your right hand for me? I state your name.
I, Melissa Cabello Haverda,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of
Mayor Pro Tem,
City of San Antonio
City of San Antonio,
from June 15th, 2021
from June 15th, 2021
through August 24th, 2021
through August 24th, 2021
of the state of Texas, and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state. So help me God. Congratulations, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you.
Okay, that is everything we have for this morning. I hope to see everyone back, or those of you who can come back, at 6 p.m. tonight for our ceremonial inauguration. In the meantime, as we will call this meeting adjourned, the time is 12:15 p.m. on this 15th day of June 2021. I do, as folks filter out, I do need the council to stay back. We're going to take a photo for the new term. Councilmember Courage, did you want to?
Yes, thank you. One thing I didn't get a chance to do was thank my wife and my family for helping me get elected. If you're listening in, honey, I just wanted to make sure I didn't forget. And I wanted to thank my staff for doing such a great job for our district, and thank my neighbors for my reelection. Thank you, Mayor.
Veteran returner, sorry about that, John. We got you. Zeta, he's good. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here this morning. We look forward to seeing you back for the inauguration. And council, if you can hang back on the dais. We're just going to take a quick group photo.